This is a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Now it happened that when the crowds pressed toward Jesus so that they might hear the word of God, he was standing beside the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw two boats standing beside the lake. The fishermen had climbed down, and they were washing their nets. And so climbing into one of the boats, the one which belonged to Simon, he asked him to draw back a little from the land. And sitting down, he taught the crowds from the boat. Then when he had ceased speaking, he said to Simon, "Lead us into deep water and release your nets for a catch." And in response, Simon said to him, "Teacher, working throughout the night, we caught nothing. But on your word, I will release the net." And when they had done this, they enclosed such a copious multitude of fish that their net was breaking. And they signaled to their associates who were in the other boats so that they would come and help them. And when they came and filled both boats so that they were nearly submerged, but when Simon Peter had seen this, he fell down at the knees of Jesus and saying, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
There is not a saint who didn't doubt, because doubt could either lead to despair if you choose not to pursue knowledge, or you could turn that doubt into a question. But not to question authority as somehow we don't want to hear the answer, but rather, I want you to think of it this way, not to question authority, but rather to quest the author. And that author of our life and the answer to every question is here before us. Yet we can doubt. And you know what? We are like Simon Peter. I've been praying. God hasn't answered me. I felt that way. I'll admit something to you right now. When I was a child, I prayed for God to make me taller. He did not answer that prayer until I realized that sitting in coach class is like first class for little guys like me. Because God has a way of answering our questions in a way to show that he is generous with us. St. Peter, in that gospel passage, wanted Jesus to leave him even though he saw a miracle. And we have miracles in our lives every day, and we kind of want to not admit that God is answering our questions because we recognize, would God want to hang out with us? I'm a sinner. Well, our church teaching tells us he not only wants to spend time with you, he wants to dwell in you, because our God is a God of mercy. You can try it. You can do what St. Peter said. "Leave me, Lord." You know what he's going to say? Ain't no way. I love you. I love you so much I want to be in you. And you in me. You know what that's called? Communion. And this is what we are beholding right now. You see, the reason why Peter started to believe that that was the Lord of mercy was because he kind of doubted him. And he said, "Dude, you're a carpenter? I'm a fisherman." It's like a plumber telling a surgeon how to do brain surgery. And we are that way with God. We're that way. But he had enough faith, small as a mustard seed, to at least listen to what Jesus said. And I want you, and I'm preaching to me, to maybe when Jesus says, cast your net on the other side, you know what he's really saying? Stop doing it your way. Do it mine. And what will happen? You will see God's generous love in answer to every question. And the reason why he knew it was Jesus, because Jesus gave him so much fish, so much food. And here's where I really get excited, because I cook a lot on TV. I'm good enough to cook to beat Bobby Flay and the Food Network. But that's not why we're here. We are here because Jesus is trying to tell you, you know what? You guys are hungry, aren't you? You don't even know it. So you see, Peter could have just said, hey, it was a miserable day. We didn't catch much, so no big whoop. And Jesus says, no, it's not. Every day I want to feed you. Every day I want to give you the best and the most, because he knows you are hungry, especially teenagers. But you know the problem? Do we go to Jesus to be fed? Because there are evil forces, the devil, who wants to feed you too. And you can keep doing it your way by going to all those bad things that feed us and destroy us, because you are what you eat. Or we can go to the God of mercy and say, feed us with the best and the most, and he will do it for you. His track record of being a God of mercy and feeding you is no different from the gospel of the prodigal son, who took everything and wasted it, and yet his father waited for him, looking for him. And the only reason why that kid came back is because he's like every other college kid. He was hungry and needed to do his laundry. And what did the father give? The best. Clothed him in the finest. And I'm here to tell you that the only reason why I am a priest is because Jesus, our God, was generous with his mercy on me. And he wants to give his mercy to you. The question just simply remains, what are you hungry for? Today, Jesus is asking you in the Blessed Sacrament, stop doing it your way. And maybe try it mine. In these next few moments of silence, I'll help you in your meditation and prayer. And you can take the posture of sitting or kneeling. You can take the posture of with your hands raised to him, or your head in your own hands. But I do want you to imagine us doubting Jesus, because we do, don't lie. We all can doubt a little bit. But he's here to say, if you're willing to try it and go deeper in your faith, he will answer every one of your hungers with his generous love.